Right now at 5:30, bus driver shortages. As kids head back to school, CMS is working to make sure every student has a seat and every driver has a bus.
Rain and a few storms is now out of the Charlotte metro as it pushes east, but notice more on the way. We're going to talk more about more rain and storms. Plus, will it produce the chance for some strong to severe weather later on today?
And the triggerman in a plot to kill a former Panthers girlfriend has died. We have those details just ahead. Plus, more money set aside for North Carolina schools. We'll tell you how a new addition to North Carolina's education lottery is bringing in millions. Wake Up Charlotte weekend starts right now.
Remembering Bobby Knight, his impact on the world of college basketball.
Plus, sharing the wealth. Joint bank accounts may be the secret to a happy marriage.
Plus, changes could be coming to those Black Friday deals. We're connecting the dots on how the retail holiday could look a bit different this year.
Are you ready for a fantastic forecast and a fantastic game? Only one Carolina can win for the Duke's Mayo Classic. We'll have that forecast. Also, where temperatures go through your holiday weekend.
The sun is coming up, but the college game day energy is not dying down. We're just a few short minutes away from the start of the official college game day 3-hour show.
Plus, a Charlotte neighborhood on the lookout for an aggressive owl. We speak to wildlife experts on why the bird may be more active at this time. Wake Up Charlotte weekend starts right now.
Wake Up Charlotte starts with breaking news.
We continue to follow breaking news this morning. I'm Kaitlin Hagwood. Medic has confirmed multiple people have been shot at an area in South End Charlotte. CMPD sharing just moments ago, at least one officer was involved in that shooting. Wake Up Charlotte's Jesse Pierre is live on the 300th block of West Tremont Avenue, where this is all unfolding. Jesse, what can you tell us? A major update in the search for the man investigators say is responsible for killing a Charlotte mother and her 2 young children. CMPD charging 35-year-old Benjamin Taylor with 3 counts of murder and concealment of death. In a multi-agency search, Taylor was found in California and brought into custody less than 24 hours after the bodies of 22-year-old Markayla Johnson and her children, 4-year-old Miracle and 7-month-old Messiah, were identified in a Charlotte apartment after she went missing earlier this month. The victim's family speaking out yesterday as the search was underway.
She didn't deserve it. She wasn't an evil person or nasty person. She was real sweet.
Well, CMPD Chief Johnny Jennings also speaking out about this yesterday, saying the killings were not random. He said the suspect was someone the children's mother was in a relationship with. We have reached out for more information and we'll provide that to you on air as well as online as soon as it's available. Also breaking this morning, we're learning new details after 2 deadly shootings in Northwest Charlotte. You're looking at a live view from the cookout on Sunset Road. CMPD says a woman was shot multiple times at that location around 5 this morning. She has now died. The circumstances, including a suspect, still unclear as the investigation continues.
At this point, with the ongoing investigation, we have homicide is on scene and they've already delved into the investigation and they're working all angles of it.
Well, just minutes away, another person is dead after a shooting on Bradford Drive. CMPD says they found a man on the 300th block in an open area. He was pronounced dead on the scene by medic. If you have any information in any of these circumstances, reach out to CMPD to assist.
Live now at 8:56. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Sarah French. We're following breaking news. The Hornets have hired a new head coach. Charles Lee joins the Hornets with 10 years of experience as an NBA assistant coach. He'll join the team after spending the past season with the Boston Celtics, where he led them to the NBA playoffs as the team's top assistant. Lee becomes the 12th head coach in franchise history.
Well, breaking overnight, a major development in a story that has clinched the Charlotte area for decades. The triggerman in a plot to kill the pregnant girlfriend of former Carolina Panthers Ray Caruth has died. Van Brett Watkins was sentenced to more than 50 years in prison for shooting and killing Sharika Adams back in November of 1999. Now, while she was in the hospital suffering from gunshot wounds, she had her son, Chancellor and an emergency C-section before she died. As for Ray Caruth, he served nearly 19 years in prison before being released in October of 2019. Caruth's son, Chancellor, now 24 years old, graduated from CMS back in 2021. Now, according to the North Carolina DAC website, it says that Watkins died December 3rd. We're reaching out to learn more details about his cause of death.
Today, ESPN's College Game Day is here in the Queen City. We've been telling you about how UNC is planning to take on the University of South Carolina tonight at Bank of America Stadium in this year's Duke's Mayo Classic. And people have been lining up at Romare Building Park for their chance to be a part of one of the most popular traditions in college football. Wake Up Charlotte's Destiny Richards is live now from Uptown. And Destiny, I know you've been talking to people. What have they been telling you about today?
Yeah, well, they've just been saying that they got up so early just to be here and just represent their team, to be a Tar Heel, to be a Gamecock. There are people that came just from, Fort Mill, around the surrounding area. But here's what these two Tar Heel ladies had to say about coming all the way from Chapel Hill.
It was fun to travel. We road tripped, and it was just a really good time.
Yeah,
so.
And there seems to be a good, even mix of South Carolina and North Carolina here, so that's pretty cool. It makes the rivalry a little bit more intense today.
And it definitely did, because once those gates opened, once everyone was able to fill the pit, there was so much excitement at the ESPN College Game Day stage. We got to see when they turned the music on, had the lights on, and the energy really just amplified, because people already had it. But once they got onto the ESPN compound, it really just came alive in the heart of Charlotte. And everything's still going on this morning. We're right in front of the opening for Bank of America Stadium, where the Duke's Mayo Classic Fan Fest is supposed to be starting at noon. So that'll be a fun thing for everyone coming from the park to go to, just to, tailgate in the city and just get ready for the gates to open at 5:30 and then the game, of course, to begin at 7:30. So even if you're just passing through Uptown, it's really an exciting time here in Charlotte. I'll send it back to the studio.
Thank you so much, Destiny. Yeah, just even looking at that video, you can see the excitement from fans. So certainly a fun time happening in Uptown. And with College Game Day in town, there will be some temporary changes on riding the bus if you're planning to. So get a good listen to what I have to share. These are some of the CATS routes that are going to be impacted. 1, 5, 7, 8, 16, 22, 26, 34, and 35. You see them there. This will be in effect from 3 this afternoon until 11:30 tonight. We do have more details on College Game Day, including those routes, on our website, WCNC.com. And thanks so much, my friend. Thousands getting ready for day 2 of the Love and Life Music Festival. More than 30,000 people are expected to attend throughout the weekend. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards joining us live now from First Ward Park. Destiny, I know there was a lot of action there last night. Why don't you tell us what people can expect today?
Yeah, good morning. Well, right now it is quiet in Uptown. It is dry for right now, but it is post day 1. It is post Malone night of Love and Life Music Fest, and today is another action-packed day. Day 2 of the music festival starts at 1 o'clock for the first performance, and then the big headliner of the night at 9:30 tonight is Stevie Nicks. So another big day with a big headliner should be exciting. And if it's anything like yesterday, you can expect crowds of people in Uptown for day 2, whether from Charlotte or from out of town. People came ready to see their favorite artists. The 2 big performances of the night were the Chainsmokers and the headliner Post Malone. It's also an opportunity for local acts to get exposure on the big stage, and for local businesses to see new faces.
The crowd has been amazing, really. We've seen people coming all the way from Canada. Can you believe it?
People are definitely coming for these. It gets a little hot outside. They're walking around. They want to stay hydrated.
And just a reminder ahead of day 2, things you can and cannot bring through the gates. There is a clear bag policy in place, so you can bring one that is 12 by 6 by 12. An empty reusable water bottle is allowed, no regular water bottles, and no umbrellas, no backpacks, no outside food. And there's a full detailed list of things you can and can't bring. That's all on our website, WCNC.com. And like Brittany was saying, with the rain expected, most likely during the festival today, you'll want to bring maybe a poncho or cover your head with a hoodie because no umbrellas allowed. But it should be a really fun day. I don't think the rain is going to stop anyone from having fun if it's anything like yesterday's fun here in Uptown at First Ward Park. And I'll send it back to you guys for now.
Destiny, thank you. Yeah, a lot of folks out there looking to have a great time. And to add on to that, so the Charlotte Knights and Charlotte FC are also hosting home games later today. Brittany talked about this. To ease that the traffic festival organizers are encouraging people to use the city's transit system. But if you do decide to drive, Chris Mulcahy is going to break down which roads to avoid.
Good morning, everybody. Potentially a bunch of people are going to be flooding into Uptown. Now, the rain's going to keep some people away, but up to 40,000 possible around the Charlotte FC game. Also, up to 10,000 can fit into the Knights Stadium. Then up to 30,000 people bought tickets for the Love and Life concert. And that's what we're here all about. What's the closures you can expect traffic-wise? Well, for one, this doesn't fully reopen until 6 a.m. on Tuesday. So it's going to be a while that we're going to have this closure here. For one, it's right along the light rail track. So it's North Brevard Street, North Caldwell Street, 7th, 8th, and 9th Street are going to be shut down. But here's the convenience. These dots right here are along the blue line that you can get off on 7th and 9th Street. So literally, you can get dropped off right in front of the concert. So good news. Now, the only delay that we're going to see across the area is just mainly going to be on Caldwell Street because you're going to get blocked up here. But here's the good news. An easy get around. You can take North Davidson Street right around the concert. Enjoy the concert if you're going, and also stay weather aware because we'll have a chance for those thunderstorms, as Brittany's already told you.
Chris, thanks. And as you look to stay weather aware, you can find more details on our app, WCNC.com, and our free mobile app there. You see it as well.
Well, today is the big day. We here at WCNC Charlotte are working to clear the shelters. We have teams that will be at CMPD Animal Care and Control from 11 until 5 o'clock today. So if you're thinking about adding a new member to your family, or you want to volunteer or donate, come out and see us. Right now, WCNC Charlotte anchor Sarah French and Larry Sprinkle are out at the shelter event. Good morning, guys. How's it looking out there?
Hey guys, great day out here with Julia. We're dancing. Julia brought us a friend. This is Buzz. Julia, tell us about Buzz.
He is a sweet dog.
Buzz is about 5 years old. He's super sweet, friendly. He's small, so wanted to show that we do have small dogs available for adoption today, so please come and see us. Oh, look at his sweet face. Buzz has to face the camera.
He has a little, he's been shaved right there. I mean, that's okay. He'll be fine, right? Yeah.
He had some hair loss when he came in, but it'll grow back. It'll be fine.
He is just an example of the many animals at all the shelters around the area. And here at Animal Care Control, Byram Drive, West Boulevard, all the signs come out at 11 o'clock. We're here right now. How many animals do you have here altogether?
Over 300 right now.
300, and the shelter is completely full.
Completely.
So people can come out, they can check out the animals that you have here. You don't just have dogs, you have cats. What other animals? I mean, I saw some bunnies and guinea pigs.
Rabbits, guinea pigs. We have a pig and a rooster, and then we also have a snake, but it isn't.
It's a menagerie. The main issue is the amount of dogs and cats, the dogs. And when you come out and adopt, a staycation, or just volunteer or make a donation, all those will help out in the cause days. We clear the shelters.
Yeah. And people can bring their own pet as well. Check the microchip today as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We really need you to do that to make sure microchips are up to date so they don't end up here. Yes.
That happens so often. You know, it's when you think about there are 12 shelters that we're helping out today, all across the area, and we want to make sure that when you come out, this is the no adoption fee. Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah.
So adoption fees are waived grade with a monetary donation. That donation goes toward our life-saving program, so we hope you'll be generous.
It could be a donation of $1, whatever you can, out of your heart, and you know that's what we do, deep in your heart, to make sure that we have a home for these pets today.
Yeah, and if people can't adopt, what else can they do to help you guys out here?
Foster. If they can't adopt, they can foster. They just sign up on our website. We'll get you approved within a day or two, and then that's it. You can come and pick out any adoptable dog to foster.
And Buzz is just like so many out here. We're going to be here all morning, and remember, coming out at 11 o'clock, the whole team will be here today as we help to clear the shelters.
Oh, back to you guys. We hope Buzz finds a home today.
He's a good boy.
Buzz is super cute and super busy. Have fun out there, guys. And remember, if you're not in a position to adopt or foster a pet, once again, donating money or your time to your local animal shelter is still a great way to make a difference. So we hope to see you at CMPD Animal Care and Control from 11 to 5. Well, it's a big day for us here at WCNC Charlotte. Our magical toy drive is underway as we work to make sure all the kids in our area have a present to open during the holidays. Today, we are out at Belk at the Carolina Place collecting new unwrapped toys. That's where we find Sarah French and Ben Thompson. Good morning, guys.
Hey, Tradisha.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to Brittany there in the studio as well. You know, it strikes me that last year had our viewers said, you know, Ben and Sarah, I just don't want to come out because it's too cold and it's too damp.
Oh, it's perfect today.
We would have understood.
The sun is shining.
But today, it's hot.
It's perfection. Well, I wouldn't say hot.
I don't even need this coat.
Are you sweating?
I'm actually kind of sweating. But guys, we're here because it's a really important cause. You know it. We've been doing it now for decades here on WCNC Charlotte, the Magical Toy Drive. Let's go ahead and bring in Major Burns.
Hello, good morning.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Explain for folks at home why this is such a big deal, not just this year, but every single year we do it.
Well, in just a few short days, the Salvation Army is going to be distributing our toys here in this. I'm not sure where I am.
You are in Charlotte, North. You've been traveling all over.
When the folks come out, it's a balmy December day. Weather is no excuse. Drop by.
A beautiful day. Sun is shining.
Sun is shining. We'll be out here all day. Back to y'all in the studio.
Again, we'll be at Belk at Carolina Place until 3. If you can, please bring a new unwrapped toy for a child in our area, or you can scan the QR code here on your screen to donate money online.
Back to school season is here, and families are expected to drop a good chunk of change on school supplies. According to the National Retail Federation, families nationwide will spend more than $870 on everything from binders to electronics. That's about $15 less than last year's record, but that makes this year's back-to-school cost the second highest in history. You can expect clothing to be the most expensive purchase this year, with prices topping more than $230 per kid. But if you're still on the hunt for school supplies, one mom says a little patience could be the key to some big savings.
Hold off on those. It's hard to find because everybody gets that same generic list. So everyone in that grade at that school is hunting for those items that might not be necessary. And you're going to find them easier and probably cheaper a week or 2 weeks later.
And speaking of cheaper deals, South Carolina's tax-free weekend starts today through Sunday. You can buy items like computers, notebooks, pencils, clothing, and more without having to pay sales tax. This applies both in-store and online. Happening today, it's back to the hardwood for UNC and Duke as they look to play their first game in this year's ACC tournament. Number 1 ranked North Carolina will take on number 9 Florida State in the quarterfinals at noon. Then later, Duke also getting their first go at the tournament, taking on NC State. That game is at 7 tonight. Both Duke and North Carolina looking for a win to move on to the semifinals Friday, then the championship game on Saturday. The winner from this tournament will get an automatic bid into March Madness.
In just a few hours, the North Carolina General Assembly will kick off its annual legislative session. State leaders hoping to finish the traditionally short session by early summer as we head into a busy election season later this year. All 170 legislative seats are up for re-election in November. The main priority this spring will be adjusting the second year of the 2-year state budget. Experts predict they'll try to spend more money on scholarships than private school education, as well as a focus on Medicaid.
We'll be putting investments in behavioral health urgent cares across the state.
Governor Cooper will also share his proposed budget adjustments. However, Republicans still hold a narrow majority in the House, so they could ignore those preferences.
Well, right now in Charlotte, homicides remain an issue, but the city is seeing new issues compared to 30 years ago, including street takeovers and a rise in social media-driven car thefts. Get a look at these numbers from CMPD's mid-year public safety report. Overall crime was up 11% in the city between January and June of this year compared to the same time frame last year. The rise was mostly driven by car thefts, but we are making progress. According to the department, violent crime is down 8%, and that includes homicides, robberies, rapes, and aggravated assaults. However, one concern for the chief are crimes involving teenagers.
It's still shocking to me.
Just into our newsroom in the past few minutes, we are learning more than 20 Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools will be closed today due to the power outages. Too many to read aloud, but take a step, look at the TV, get an update here. There's a long list starting with Garinger High School. These are the latest in what's been a long list of closings that we've gotten into our newsroom over the past few hours. You can read that full list at WCNC.com. There's also a few counties, a few districts as well that are closing as well. Again, the latest on WCNC.com.
Well, it's a bumpy road to the start of the school year in Gaston County. This morning, we're learning some kids are waiting hours for the bus to come, so long they're missing the first bell. Parents say when asking for more information regarding the bus issue, the district says bus drivers are supposed to pick up elementary kids first, then come back for middle schoolers. But that wasn't communicated until parents started reaching out about the issue. We've reached out to Gaston County schools about the issue and have not heard back yet. And they're not the only ones experiencing transportation issues as Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools, along with other districts, get ready to head back to school in a few weeks. Bus drivers still remain in high demand.
Right now, CMS is 82 drivers short, according to CMS Executive Director of Transportation, Adam Johnson. The district is trying to fill 35 bus driver vacancies. Another 47 drivers are on some sort of leave.
But we do have quite a few drivers in the pipeline to be hired. So it'll be very similar to the opening of school that we had last school year.
Transportation officials expect to have 10 more drivers currently in training come on board in time for the first day of school. The district's expecting thousands of more bus riders this year, which means they're working to make sure every student gets a ride for the first day of school.
We have a little over 104,000 students that are assigned for transportation this year.
That's an increase of more than 6,000 students registering for transportation compared to this time last year. Johnson says with the vacancies, there may be a 15 to 30-minute delay. CMS says for things to go smoothly this year, they ask parents to remind their students of their address and bus number.
If they could put a tag in their book bag or attach it to their backpack, that helps the driver know where the student should go.
Approaching 5:15 right now, it is time to connect the dots. When we make the news make sense, as more schools kick off their new year, it's important students with disabilities have access to everything they need. When it comes to making sure students with disabilities are treated the same, there are a few rules all schools must follow. Let's connect the dots. Law requires schools to teach kids with disabilities in a school building. They cannot turn kids away no matter the disability. The Individuals with Disability Act is just one method of support, providing free public education and giving parents a voice for their kids. Schools also create personalized education plans for students, while others have clubs to build support and reduce stigma. Finally, schools are required to make sure they have a way for students with disabilities to easily get around. This could be ramps, handicap buttons, automatic doors, and large stalls big enough to fit a wheelchair. There are still millions of students who don't have access to education due to their disability. But now, organizations like the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction are working to change that. And that is connecting the dots.
Here's what's happening across the Carolinas. A man was shot and killed by police in Fayetteville yesterday afternoon. Now, this was during a traffic stop. Police say some kind of argument rose up and the officer had to use his weapon, killing the driver. It's not clear what started the argument. A Forsyth County Detention Center inmate is dead after a medical emergency. Officers tried to save him with the help of a nurse who performed life-saving measures. His cause of death is still unknown at the time. And researchers at Clemson University say another invasive species is in South Carolina. They say someone trapped a yellow-legged hornet in Jasper County. Now, these hornets are predatory insects, and they attack honeybee colonies. This could threaten beekeeping efforts. The hornet is native to tropical areas of Southeast Asia. And that's what's happening across the Carolinas.